Okay, where to begin? My granddaughter said she was not going to ride in that anymore if I didn't buy her something that looked a little, well, more family appropriate. So I accidentally bought a Suburban because we needed extra seats for times like that when I'm loading up the grandkids and the friends and the family gets bigger and that kind of stuff. So all that being said, I got no idea where I'm parking my Suburban. I know I hate to leave it sit outside because it's going to rust, and the truth is the rust has already started on some of it. But the deal was too good, and I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. Probably just going to leave it sit outside in front of my shop until I get ready to drive home and leave that one here and drive that one home so they're not embarrassed by my fun car. Yes, I like it. So all that being said, I thought about pulling this trailer out and parking it right here inside. And things just work better when you leave them inside, but a man can have too many things to put inside and not enough building to put them in. Excuse my shakiness with this camera. Going to run out and pick up some things I ordered. Busy on. And then I'm going to come back here and start on this sucker. And right down in there is probably where I'm going to begin. I want to sand all that down and place the boards in place, and then I was questioning, let's see, I might as well climb on up in here so I can go over this a little bit more. The new transom will have all new white gel coat on it without all that black streaky stuff you see in there. See the black streaky stuff that's in this gel coat? And I don't know. I know that was cosmetic from the factory or whoever did that. So the question for me was, I wish this camera would stop stopping. What's the answer for these stringers? That's still going to have that stuff on it if I don't just do the whole thing. And therefore, I decided that I would keep the wood. As you can tell, there's wood here. And keep the wood, but take this really ultra thick stuff off the outside of it. And that is going to expose the wood, but it's I don't expect to find rotten wood. I think it'll be just fine. But that's all going to be 1708 and new. It's mostly about making it look like it matches. Because if I take all that off there and then leave the wood, I don't have to do any actual hull work where the wood and the hull come together. It can sit on that angle, however they cut the angle, however they built that up, whatever they did underneath there can stay. I just need to be able to come up, over, and back down with 1708 twice, at least twice, to make it match this. And that's just so it don't look like I did half a job. Most of it's cosmetic. I don't have a structural need to do that, but I may take that back to here today, but leave these because this little thing is nice to sit on. It's stop stopping. But I'm going to be in here for a while doing a lot of prep work, and if I take just that much off right there and then go back, wherever this comes together, it will be easier to blend all that in before I move forward. But I like that plan. I thought about it all week this week, and I really like that idea because I don't actually have to cut stringers. I don't actually have to try to build that back up where it will stick to the hull or any of that. I can just use the same wood unless I find rotten wood, and then we'll address that, but I don't expect to find rotten wood there. That is one of two things that have changed. The second thing that changed was when to put that engine back in. I decided that what I want to do after I get done with the transom is go straight back into what I started last year which was to rebuild the lower. The reason for that, I was going to wait till colder weather to do that, but the reason for that is because I have a gimbal housing and a pivot housing and a upper that all need something. And I have to have those ready to go back in before I can put the engine back in. And what I'm thinking is I've ordered a lower seal kit in that, and if I put the lower back together first, I will know what's in that lower seal kit. I'll know if there's a exhaust gasket for this, or things like that. I don't expect to find a lot of extra stuff in it, but I don't know how far they went with that seal kit. Actually, seal kit's probably up here in one of those boxes. But it will tell me if I use up all the parts that's in that thing for the lower and get that done. It'll tell me what I got, and it'll also tell me what I have to order to correctly do this. This all had to be sandblasted too, but at least my sandblaster is up and running and working, so it won't be as big an issue. So that's not going in for a while. And it's getting rebuilt earlier. But as far as this year and the temperature sensitive stuff, it's all about this transom. It's all about this bilge. And then I will move to the lower just to get those parts off the table and together. And then I will switch gears and work on the gimbal housing and the pivot housing. And when that's done, I don't know how long that'll take, then I can put those items in the exhaust parts. The exhaust, where's it at? It's right over there, right there. I don't know what all that requires to go back on the hull, and I'm not going to look at it yet because I'm too busy looking at all this other stuff first. When I get those two items ready to go back on the hull, then we'll talk about after the lower's back together. One of the things I wanted to look at today while I was here, just because I do have that on the horizon, is I wanted to look at the forward gears and clutch dog and shift detent to see if there's any parts I have to order before I can put the lower back together. My hope is that some machining can be done and I don't have to order all those parts, but I don't know until I really look at them. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'll get back with you.